Flow into gratitude for this principle. Your future is not built by the thoughts that visit you, but by the thoughts you repeatedly fund with attention. Every second of attention is a psychological investment, and the mathematics of repetition quietly turns temporary visitors into permanent architects. Right now, as these words enter your mind, thousands of thoughts are competing for exactly one thing: not your belief, not your agreement, your attention. And here's the twist: attention is the only currency inside the mind that every thought desperately wants. A thought can arrive without your permission, but it cannot grow without your investment. That changes everything. Imagine your mind as a vast city under construction. Every thought is an architect arriving with a blueprint. Most people assume every architect deserves a meeting. They don't. Some arrive carrying designs for confidence. Some arrive carrying designs for fear. Some bring hope. Others bring doubt disguised as realism. The dangerous part: they all knock with equal confidence. None of them announce whether they are about to build a prison or a cathedral. Now the hidden mathematics begins. Imagine every second of attention as a single coin. One coin seems meaningless, but the architect keeps asking, just one more. Another second, another replay, another memory, another imagined conversation, another what if. Before long, you've unknowingly financed an entire building. Psychology has repeatedly found that what we rehearse mentally becomes easier to revisit. Repeated attention strengthens accessibility. The brain becomes more efficient at returning to familiar pathways, not because they are true, because they are practiced. Now the mystery deepens. Negative thoughts rarely win by being stronger. They win by staying longer. They understand a secret most people never notice. Duration quietly defeats intensity. A brief storm rarely changes a landscape. Years of gentle rain do. The same is true inside the mind. One frightening thought almost never changes a life. 10,000 repetitions of that same thought might. Now imagine a museum. Every thought that enters your mind asks one silent question: will you give me permanent exhibition space? Most people answer without realizing it. By revisiting the thought, they renew its lease, again and again, until one day, they mistake familiarity for identity. I've worried about this for years, so maybe that's just who I am. But here's the revelation: repetition creates familiarity. Familiarity is not proof. The oldest voice in your head is not necessarily the wisest one. Now look through another lens. Think about social media algorithms. They don't always show you the best content. They often show you the content you've repeatedly interacted with. Your mind behaves in a surprisingly similar way. The thoughts receiving your repeated attention become easier to retrieve, not because they're objectively important, but because you've trained your internal system to prioritize them. Suddenly, the battlefield shifts. The real question isn't, what thoughts entered today? The real question is, which thoughts did I teach my mind to recommend tomorrow? That is where gratitude enters, not as decoration, but as deliberate direction. Gratitude is an intentional investment of attention. Each moment spent noticing what strengthens you is a quiet vote for the mental pathways you want to become more accessible. It doesn't erase pain. It changes which networks receive repeated practice. Now another twist. Imagine two gardens. In the first, weeds appear. The gardener spends every day staring at them, measuring them, worrying about them. In the second, the gardener removes the weeds but spends most of the time cultivating healthy plants. Both gardens contain weeds. Only one flourishes. Attention is like sunlight. Whatever consistently receives, it tends to grow. That doesn't mean every positive outcome is guaranteed, and it doesn't mean difficult emotions should be ignored. It means your repeated focus influences which mental patterns become easier to access over time. Now the final revelation. Perhaps your life has never been shaped primarily by your loudest thoughts. Perhaps it has been shaped by your longest funded thoughts. Every second of attention has been casting tiny votes, not for the person you are today, but for the person your mind is gradually becoming. So stand at the doorway of your awareness, not as a prisoner, not as a spectator, but as the investor, because every thought arrives asking for funding, every emotion asks for time, every fear asks for another minute, every hope asks for one too. Flow into gratitude for this principle, because the deepest first principle is this: you cannot stop every thought from knocking, but you decide which thoughts receive your attention, and over time, attention becomes architecture. Long before your future is visible in the world, it has already been quietly constructed inside your mind, one invested moment at a time.